Hey, what's up? I'm Erin, and this is Erin Go Read. Take a shot. I'm at the gym, warming up. I'm also just kind of stalling a little bit before I go hit my leg workout. But I want to talk to you because it's the beginning of mid-month book bash, and this weekend it is now That's What I Call Summer Readathon themed. So I'm about to listen to the audiobook of The Firekeeper's Daughter, which is a YA, I don't know, hard-hitting contemporary, I guess. I don't know exactly how to classify the genre. It was one of those skip the line ones. I heard some good things about it, and there's a bit of a mystery going on for sure. So there's our main character, Donis. Donis is half Ojibwe and half white, which causes some problems in her personal life and her identity, between she's too white, she's not white enough, she's not Ojibwe enough, whatever, and some stuff goes down basically, and I don't want to give too much away, but there ends up being some stuff that happens, some crimes, and she gets kind of in the middle of trying to figure out what's happening. So I think I have a few hours left of that. Has nothing to do with the readathon. That's just the book that I've been listening to. So I'm going to be listening to that while I work out. And then I really, my number one goal is to finish an unlikely pilgrimage of Harold Frye tonight. Also, really nothing to do with the readathon. And then, yeah, hopefully I can actually start getting to some readathon books. And I don't know, maybe I'll have some cereal and watch cartoons in the morning. We'll see. Maybe I'll create an 80s and 90s playlist. That sounds fun. Actually, at my co-working space the last couple of days, we've been having a lot of throwback. We had 90s hip-hop yesterday and today, so that's pretty fun. Bringing me back to my middle school days. So, I'm going to stop stalling and go get this lift in.
How's this for a first sentence? One day in the middle of the 20th century, I sat in an old graveyard, which had not yet been demolished, in the Kensington area of London, when a young policeman stepped off the path and came over to me. Good morning. It is Saturday. I finished 2 books yesterday. So I finished The Firekeeper's Daughter during my workout, right at the end of the workout. It was really good timing. And it was really enjoyable. I have to say, I was thinking it's really hard to rate it. I really don't think it's one that it's gonna be all that memorable for me, as much as I enjoyed it, and it covered some really hard topics, especially related to Native American women and their disappearances and the crimes committed against them that go unpunished and even uninvestigated. It also there was some mention of, it really only mention of the residential schools. It was a topic that they wanted to be brought up, of Native kids being pulled away from their families and taken to these residential schools. It seemed like it was kind of dropped in just as here's some terrible history that happened, just so you know. It wasn't really that much part of a story of the story. It just seemed like kind of extra information that was added in. I did really like the main character and felt it was quite realistic in the way that things went on, the way that the plot unfolded, and the way that she acted and the other kind of main players acted. I just don't know. It's definitely not a 5-star for me. And I don't even know if I would say 4-star, because a 4-star to me is something that I really loved, I'm telling people about. And as much as I think it's a good book and I enjoyed my time with it, I just don't think it lands there for me. And I can't really put my finger on why. It could just be, I don't read a lot of contemporary YA fiction, and so and there's a reason for that. That's just not really my bag. I am glad I read it. I think it was a really, really great Own Voices story about Native Americans, which is something that I need to read more of. I read The Brave, which also featured Ojibwe, an Ojibwe main character early last year. I think maybe during middle grade March is when I read The Brave. I can't remember the author's name. But anyway, I actually didn't realize that this was even a Native story until I was into it. So anyhow, I just feel like I don't have much to actually say on it. And, that's a book I just finished yesterday. So, but like 3 stars feels harsh. I don't know. But you know what? I am using Storygraph now. So maybe that's it. Maybe I can use a half. Maybe it's a 3.5 star. Maybe that's like that perfect spot for a half star. So anyhow, I also finished, it's over there. I can't reach it. Also finished The Unlikely Pilgrimage of Harold Frye by Rachel Joyce, and I loved it. That is a 5-star book for me. It is a true character journey of, not sure if I gave the synopsis of this. I don't think I did. I probably did last week when I was vlogging rather than yesterday. And we're back. I had to take a slight intermission there. I now do have The Unlikely Pilgrimage of Harold. I can never say the entire name of this without messing up. The Unlikely Pilgrimage of Harold Frye. So, Harold Frye is a recently retired man living in the south of England. And he gets a letter one day from a friend of his, Queenie, who they used to work together like 20 years ago at the brewery where he worked his entire life. The letter tells him that she's dying of cancer. She's in a hospice. And he writes her a letter right back immediately and tells his wife he's going to post the letter. And he just heads out the door to go mail the letter. But when he gets to the first mailbox, he's just not ready to mail it. And so he's going to walk to the next mailbox and the next mailbox and the next mailbox. Eventually, he gets to, I think it was a burger joint. And this girl in the burger joint, he tells him, he tells the girl about what he's doing. And she tells him of this like very hope-filled story about her aunt who had cancer. And he gets it in his head that if he walks all the way to where she is in Berwick upon Tweed, way in the absolute north of England, that it will save Queenie. So he's left the house just prepared to go mail a letter. He's wearing his yachting shoes. I'm picturing like Sperry's. He doesn't have any water or food on him. He just walked out the door to go mail a letter. And now he is walking to, the entire length of England. And it's about that journey. And the trials and tribulations, the people he meets on the journey. And then we get a lot of, as he's on this walk, he's thinking about his wife. He's thinking about his son. Both very strained relationships. And he says I can't remember if it's Maureen, the wife, or Harold, that says basically it hasn't been a marriage for 20 years. And so as the story unfolds, we start to find a little bit more about that. And then as they are corresponding, either by postcards or by phone calls as he checks in with her, we start to see the relationship kind of reignite a little bit. And it's kind of my favorite trope in a book is when we have, it's usually more of an unlikable character. Harold, I don't think is ever unlikable, but he has, dog just made a weird sound. He's not in a good place, particularly in his marriage and just with his relationships. And as they go the course of a journey, typically in encountering other people and becoming closer to other people, they change. And so, yeah, this is a 5-star book for me. I absolutely loved it. I felt myself both wanting to speed up to find out what was going to happen and also wanting to slow down because I didn't want it to be over. I'm not ready for Harold to leave my life. But so I think that this is one of those books that just kind of sticks with you. I could definitely see rereading this book, and yeah, I highly recommend it. So then last night I started Loitering with Intent by Muriel Spark. It's my first Muriel Spark, and I'm literally only 12 pages into it. I got too tired and had to go to bed, but the main character is Flora Talbot, and she's just gotten a job at the Autobiographical Association. Sir Quentin is her boss, and she's kind of like a little bit weird. It's very top secret. He lets her know that six women applied for this job, and you were the one that we chose. So she is a writer herself, and so now has a job kind of in publishing, and yeah, that's where we go from there. At some point, a manuscript goes missing. And this satisfies now that's what I call Readathon prompt for a book where they're trying to find something or something goes missing or something like that. Whatever that prompt is, that satisfies that. I also just barely started the K at the end of my workout last night, and from what I can tell in the setup, it's an American family is living in Curacao. The father is in the oil industry, and the boy is the main character, and Germany is basically coming to attack Curacao, and stuff goes on. I think he basically ends up on an island or something like that. They try to escape or something like that. So it'll be interesting to get that historical context and then the story itself. So that's where we are. I've got YouTube up, and I just saw that Doris has, got a stack of books. I've got laundry to put away. You're sitting right next to a big stack of laundry as well. So that'll be on the docket at some point today. But I just saw that Doris has her day 1 of mid-month book bash vlog up. So I'm going to watch that first and then do some reading. And then maybe I'll do my Cheerios and cartoon watching this morning as well. I do have a client call at 10 and it's already 8:30, so I don't have a ton of time. But yeah, it's a good day. It's Saturday. Co-working space. This is it's called the Nook, so it's kind of like a combination. It's like a joined adjacent to a amazing coffee shop. If you ever come to visit me here in Northern California, I will definitely take you to Sociology, get you some bomb coffee and food. I just had to finish up a client call. I have some just work stuff to do. So you know how if you ever buy something, especially if you buy something online and then you get an email with the link to download or the thank you for purchasing or whatever. These are your next steps kind of thing. So I have to create that kind of thing. And for my coaching program, initially I had this $38 special. So my birthday was on Cyber Monday. And so I was like, oh, cool. Cyber Monday, $38 special, this cool thing.
So I had a bunch of people join it, but the problem is it's like an ongoing program, and so they're not actually set up to be like a recurring member of the group. They only pay that one time. So now I have to get people. I basically have to like resell my own group members, and then have it set up for anybody who joins at any point. So one of my group members, unfortunately, she's kind of a friend. I've trained her in the past, and she's a member of my co-working space too. We She re-signed up at the $97 a month, and so she texts me. She's like, "Hey, by the way," and I think she sent me a screenshot. She's like, "Hey, by the way, your back end is wrong." Like, it was set for something else for this other thing that I did because I messed up the stuff on the back end. So that's what I need to get working on right now is like the automated email sequence on the back end of that. And then once I'm done with that, I think I'll probably go to the gym first. I also need to go to the Apple store. I'll be good though, because when I'm driving, I can listen to the K. I'll probably get that finished today. I have to go to the Apple store because I have this whole computer debacle at the beginning of the week where I didn't have a computer for like a day and a half. Thought I was going to have to get a new computer. Fortunately, I had like 45 days of my Apple Care still left, but it turned out to just be the adapter for like the power adapter charger. So they ordered me a new one, and so I just have to go give them my one that doesn't work and get a new one. I get the new one for free. So yeah, that is the plan for the moment. But just like, oh, that's really bright. How gorgeous is this space? There's a bunch of people, so I don't want to show you the whole room. But we just got plants and beautiful furniture and got great funk happening next door. I don't know if you can hear that or not, but good times. On second thought, I am editing this video and I'm just going to wrap part one up here. So we've already talked about a bunch of books, and it's going to be a while until I get to read some more anyway. So I'll be listening to the K during my workout and during my drive, and then I'll be reading, what's that book called? Loitering with Intent by Muriel Spark. And so I'll catch you up in the next vlog. Thank you for watching. See you around the tubes.